Welcome. Today, we're diving into Bulgaria. But we're not just looking at the beautiful sights. We're looking at how to be a smart, savvy traveler. Because let's be honest, knowing what to do in an emergency before it happens, that's the real secret to traveling with complete peace of mind. So let's get you ready. Okay, let's just jump right in. Picture this. You've just landed in Sofia. You've got your bags, you're ready to start your adventure, and then something goes wrong. A medical issue, an accident, anything. In that moment of panic, do you know who to call? What if there was just one number that could connect you to all the help you need?
Well, that's exactly where a resource like EmergencyReady.eu comes in. It's a project designed for travelers just like you, and it gathers all that critical, need-to-know info for every single country in the EU. The whole idea is to get you prepared before you even start packing.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll talk a little bit about what it means to be an emergency-ready traveler. Then, we're going to get super specific with Bulgaria, what to do before you go, the crucial rules of the road you have to know, how to handle a crisis if one pops up, and then we'll wrap it all up with the key things you absolutely need to remember.
All right, let's start with the most important thing, the right mindset. Being prepared isn't about expecting the worst, it's about being empowered to handle anything. The whole philosophy is really simple, right? A few minutes of prep now can save you a world of stress and trouble later on. It really is the difference between a crisis totally derailing your trip or it just being a little bump in the road you can handle. When you're informed, you can travel smart.
Okay, and now for the main event, Bulgaria. Let's get your toolkit, both digital and physical, all set up before you even leave for the airport.
First things first, your phone. Your digital toolkit is your best friend here. The 1112 Bulgaria app is a game changer. It can send your exact GPS location to responders, which is huge. BG Meteo is essential for weather alerts, especially for floods. TaxiMe is your shield against common taxi scams at the airport. And if you're driving, B-Wallet is a must for handling that mandatory road tax. Seriously, download these before you fly.
And speaking of driving, let's talk about that road tax, the e-vignette. This is absolutely mandatory. And trust me on this, you don't want to wait to buy this at the border. Do it online before you go. It's incredibly simple. You just go to the official BG Toll website, type in your license plate info, choose how long you need it for, pay with a card, and this part is key. Save a screenshot of the confirmation. Done. Easy peasy.
Now for a few things to actually throw in your suitcase. Photocopies of your passport, an absolute lifesaver if you lose the real thing. A small flashlight might sound old school, but it's super handy during power cuts. If you're hiking, a tick remover is a no-brainer. And yeah, have some spare cash on you because you just can't count on finding an ATM in some of the more rural spots.
Okay, you've landed, you're in the car. Driving in a new country can be, well, a little intense. So let's break down the most important rules you need to know for driving in Bulgaria. First up, the basics. Your speed limits. It's 50 in towns and cities, 90 on rural roads, 120 on expressways, and a pretty fast 140 on the main motorways. Now, these are just the default speeds. You've always got to be looking for signs that might tell you something different. Remember that e-vignette we just talked about? Well, this is why it's so important. This number right here is the potential fine for not having one. The country is covered in automatic cameras, and if they catch you without a valid vignette, you could be on the hook for up to 865 euros. That's a vacation-ruining amount of money. The takeaway? Just buy it in advance. All right, let's look inside the car for a sec. In Bulgaria, you are legally required to have a specific safety kit in your vehicle at all times. And yes, the police do roadside checks for this stuff, so you've got to make sure your rental car is equipped. So what's in the kit? You need one reflective vest, 2 warning triangles, yep, 2, a first aid kit, and a fire extinguisher. Oh, and if you're there anytime between mid-November and the beginning of March, your car must have winter tires or snow chains. Don't get caught without the stuff. This quote really hits the nail on the head. It's not just about the written rules, it's about the local driving culture. Fast and assertive is the perfect way to describe it. So what does that mean for you? It means you need to be the opposite. Be calm, be aware, and drive defensively. Leave lots of space, don't let other drivers pressure you, and just focus on getting where you're going safely.
Okay, let's move into the what-if scenarios. What if something actually goes wrong? Whether it's a medical problem, a crazy weather event, or even a scam. Knowing what to do ahead of time is half the battle. And here it is, the answer to that question from the beginning, 112. That is the single most important number to have in your head. It's the universal number for any and all emergencies. Police, fire, ambulance, you name it. It's your one call for everything. We've also got the specific numbers here for things like mountain rescue or the Coast Guard, just in case you need them.
Now, Bulgaria has a couple of natural hazards to be aware of: earthquakes and floods. For an earthquake, the protocol is always drop, cover, and hold on. Fun fact, in Sofia, the metro system is actually designed to double as an earthquake shelter. For floods, that BG Meteo app is your best early warning system. And if you're on the Black Sea coast and hear tsunami sirens, don't hesitate, get to higher ground immediately.
Okay, listen up, because this is a really common trap for tourists. It's called the taxi cloning scam. Scammers have fake cars that look identical to the real, legitimate taxi companies. The only way to protect yourself is to never just grab a cab waiting outside the airport. Always, always book your ride from the official kiosk inside the terminal, or just use that TaxiMe app we talked about.
Wow, we have covered a lot of ground, from what to do before your trip to the rules of the road. So let's just boil it all down to the absolute most important things you need to remember. Here it is, your 4 golden rules for a safe trip to Bulgaria. Number 1, know 112. It's your lifeline. 2, get your phone ready. It's your best safety gadget, so load up those apps. 3, buy the e-Vignet online. It'll save you a massive fine and an even bigger headache. And number 4, drive defensively, always. See, being emergency ready doesn't hold you back. It actually sets you free. It gives you the confidence to go out and explore amazing places like Bulgaria, because you know you have the tools and the knowledge to handle whatever life throws at you. So the only real question left is, where will your next smart, safe adventure take you?